my name is Issa, yeah, but you can call me Twing. Do you wanna play the game of whose eyebrows are stronger? That is literally stuck in my head right now, even though nobody talks about twins anymore. I'm sorry. Hey guys, it's me, Tatum, back at it with another video. As you can see, I have a different backdrop. Again, I am in my room. It is just me filming today. But if you actually prefer having just the gray, you should comment down below if you prefer my gray wall or my bed as the background for my video. For the video today, it is going to be my everyday makeup routine because I've been getting a lot of requests to do this. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a like, comment down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of my other social media handles will be in the description box below. You should follow those as well. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's just get right on into it. Okay, so before you do absolutely anything with your makeup, it is important to make sure that your skin is prepped. The most important thing you could ever do for your skin is to moisturize it. And there's a difference between having oily skin and having moisturized skin. Today I'm going to be using the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel, and I absolutely love this. I have never had a moisturizer work as well as this does. And then another really good thing about that moisturizer is it leaves my skin feeling kind of tacky, which makes it work as a very nice primer for the foundation. That is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Soft Ivory. It is matte, but it's not too matte. And I feel like it's very hard to go heavy-handed with this. I'm going to blend it in using my It Cosmetics buffing brush. So I always start with my forehead, as I was saying, and then I go down to my cheeks, and then my chin, and then my nose. It's also very important to make sure that you blend it in this corner right here and into your ear, because it is very, very easy to get a foundation line, and no one likes that. Don't know what is happening here. It just kind of up. After foundation, obviously comes your concealer, and I actually mix two to the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer in the shade C4. Go over the top of that for brightening with the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer in the shade 05 Light Natural. If you are looking for a concealer that is comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape, but is either a lot cheaper or not as drying, I would definitely go with this Makeup Revolution concealer. Obviously, you get a lot less product, but when it's this cheap, it doesn't, I don't want to say that it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't really matter, you know? I feel like it's still matte, but it's not like paper matte, and I also feel like this layers very nicely with most foundations. Now I am going to just blend this in using my Real Techniques beauty sponge. It is dampened, and I didn't used to think that having a damp sponge was that big of a deal, and then I actually started dampening it, and it actually makes a world of a difference. So if you were like me at any point in time and you're stubborn and don't think that it really matters whether or not your sponge is damp or not, take it from a fellow stubborn person. It makes a difference. It's okay to be wrong on this. Once that concealer is all, wow, okay, my hair really needs to just get it together. Once that other concealer is all blended out, I then go in with my Catrice concealer, and I just put this on the very highest parts of my face because I don't like to be too brightened, but I also feel like it's important to have some sort of dimension and extra coverage. So it's nice to be able to go in with a second concealer that both brightens and adds to the coverage and the canceling out of the blue under my eyes. I'm just gonna go in and blend it with the same damp sponge, and I'll be back. Once I am all concealed, I go in with my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in Naturally Neutral BH Cosmetics powder brush from the Pinkadot brush collection. That was a lot. But the step that we're going to do after we do our bronzer will show you why it is okay to have a little bit too much powder. It's time to bronze. It's time to bronze. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Tarte's Pro Glow highlight and contouring kit and go in with the shade Sculpt. For those of you that don't think that bronzer is important, I can guarantee you that it is if you are wearing a foundation. Without bronzer or blush or any of that, you are just like this blank canvas and your face doesn't have any dimension. Speaking of blush, I'm going to go in with my NYX HD blush in Pink the Town, and I'm going to go in with my angled blush brush from the same BH Cosmetics brush collection and just tap in it twice, tap off all the excess because this is a very pigmented blush. Very pigmented blush. Find the apples of my cheeks. It's time for the brows. Are the Naked Urban Decay Smoky Palette, and I use the shade Whiskey on an angled brush, and then I finish filling them in using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Medium Brown. Now please remember that it is very important to brush through your brows. So dipping into that shade, I am going to start at the very tail of my brow. I'm kind of bringing it out a little bit because I like to have a little bit more of an elongated tail. Obviously, your brows are not going to look natural, but you also don't want to have like stamps or like make it look like you did your brows with Sharpie. Hey, if you want to do your brows with Sharpie, like, I'm not here to say no. After I do that, I like to take whatever is left on the brush and bring it forward into the front part of my brow. So for the next step, I'm going to take the top part of my brow on the very tail and do the same thing that I did on the bottom. And then whatever is left on the brush, I'm going to bring it up to the peak of my brow. I'm going to take whatever is left on the brush and go from the tail and again bringing it forward. Mostly stamp, but I also brush it backwards slightly so that all of the product is always going in the direction of my brow hairs. Taking whatever is left on the brush, I just brush it through the center, brush it through the front part very, very lightly. I'm going to take my spoolie and brush through them, and then I'm going to take the pencil part of my brow pencil, just clean up the lines and just sharpen up my brow. For this part, I actually start in the front. In the front part of my brow, I use very light hand, and then as I get to the side, I put more pressure. It remains the very darkest on the very outside part of my brow. Then on the top, I'm going to start at my peak and bring it down to my tail. What I just did there is I went to the very, very front part of my brow, and my hair naturally kind of swoops to the side. And I take the very highest hair and I just kind of follow its line to make the arch. Other brow off camera, and I'll be back. I'm going to clean up my brows using my Makeup Revolution concealer, and then I'm going to clean it up using this defining brush from the same BH Cosmetics set. And then I'm going to bring it up to my brow. Hi, aren't I cute? So I'm going to start with the very front part of my brow. I'm going to take my sponge, my handy dandy sponge, and blend out the rest of it on my eyelid. Once that is all blended out, I'm going to take my Tarte BB foundation powder and just any old packing brush with a lot of powder. I really pack this on my entire eyelid all the way up to my brow. Once that is all powdered, I am going to take my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, but if you don't have a lot of brow hair, then you don't really have a lot of hair that you need to keep in place, so this is definitely a step that you could skip. And I am just now realizing that I never did that step that I said that I was going to do after my bronzer and blush. I take any like mist other than water that I can put on my face, and today I'm going to be using the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and you could obviously use MAC Fix Plus. So you could use the Mario Badescu Facial Mist. It is just supposed to blend all the powders together and make us look less cakey. Once your face is all sprayed, it is important to be able to take something, if not your hands or a palette. Doing this will help melt the powders a lot smoother rather than just leaving the spray on your face, because that could actually make it dry in patches, and that's not cute. Oh my god, I just realized that I didn't contour my nose. I gotta do that. Smart human being. I think that it is very important to know like what you want with your nose, and I personally like it to be a lot more natural. So I do this to add warmth to my nose, but also to make it look slightly smaller, like slightly, like this much. A little bit on this little dent, and it'll make it look a little bigger. I'm just gonna take that same packing brush and just put it on the very center part of my nose. Helps with the dimension. Time for my absolute favorite part, highlighting. Sleek makeup highlighting palette in Solstice, and I'm going to take this purpley shade right here. It is my absolute favorite color of highlighting for all time. Obviously, I love a good gold highlight, but this is my absolute favorite highlighter. I feel like it is very, I mean, like, look at that, like, so unbelievably pigmented. It'll be all you will ever need for the rest of your life on the brow bone. Then we can move on to the face. I'm gonna take my highlighting brush. I'm just gonna really dig in there, and I'm pretty, but now I'm still your man. Tell me. I don't understand how people cannot just have a pure love for highlighter. Get the very front of it so that it can only get on the very center part of my nose. Again, adding to that dimension. Go on my Cupid's bow, and then a little bit on the chin. Set my face for the very last time. I'm going to be using the same Milani Make It Last spray before I do my mascara. First things first, I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Important to get to the very root of your eyelash and clamp down, and I like to pulse it a couple times. We're mixing mascaras. We're mixing mascaras. L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara and the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I'm going to start at the very root and brush up. Okay, and then once that first part of mascara is on, I'm going to wait for that to be completely dry, and then I'm going to re-curl my eyelashes. I'm going to be going in with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. And I'm all mascaraed. And now for the lips. Under the sun, in the moon, in the stars, if you want a good lip gloss, you need to own this. It is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. It's Riri's brand, so I mean, like, who wouldn't love it? Alright guys, and this is my everyday makeup. Anyway, if you enjoyed the little video, like the video, because you liked it. You should comment what you liked about the video, and also what you think of having my backdrop be just my gray wall. And most importantly, you should subscribe to my channel and turn on my notification bell. All of my other social media handles will be in the description box below. You should go follow those as well. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye guys.